Chairman, this is really a very important day today. It's actually indeed a pleasure for me to be here this morning to present the certificates to our new registered surveyors. First and foremost, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the efforts of the Surveyors Registration Board. As mentioned earlier, 5 years has actually elapsed without any surveyors being registered. With this, the Ministry has constantly criticized on the lack of registered surveyors in the Ministry and in the country. The initiative to register more surveyors within the Ministry has been a long, outstanding issue, and recently there's been a strong urge by the management and the Surveyors Registration Board to register more surveyors, resulting in today's registration for 3 surveyors. We all know to become a registered surveyor, it's actually quite challenging. It's a profession that needs a diploma in land surveying, 5 years experience, and completion of 5 major projects, namely town surveys, control surveys, subdivision design and engineering surveying plans that are then strictly scrutinized by the Surveyors Registration Board. The Ministry and Fiji as a nation needs more registered surveyors. And there's a huge shortage, and we've said this time and time again, there's a huge shortage of surveyors in the country. Currently, as mentioned earlier, there's 35 registered surveyors in Fiji and only 4 registered surveyors practicing or employed within the Ministry itself. A recent survey indicates that 90% are over the age of 55. And this implies that in the next 10 years there will be fewer surveyors, as many of these will have retired or passed on. To address this issue, as part of the strategy at the Ministry is actually taking a very determined approach in its efforts to have more registered surveyors, commencing with this 3 today. So to become a registered surveyor, the Ministry has given a 6 months period for trainee surveyors to complete their projects as a requirement for registration, with about 10 more candidates that are in the process of becoming registered within shortly, and more to follow. 2 survey technicians have been awarded overseas scholarships, 1 in Hong Kong and 1 in Australia, and another had just graduated from Hong Kong this year. Also, some members of the Surveyors Registration Board with a few registered surveyors have actually been coaching, mentoring, and guiding some of the candidates aspiring to become registered surveyors in the near future in their various projects. And I'd like to sincerely thank all of you for your dedication to your profession. And I'd like to again also remind the graduates in this profession, and those within the Ministry and those in other agencies, to please strive to become registered. The future demands for surveyors and the implications of technological improvements is actually high. Shortage of professional land surveyors has a profound effect, as the work that surveyors do actually touches the lives of pretty much every Fijian, directly or indirectly. So you are a critical component of Fiji's development. Land surveying is critical in the world we live in today, and surveyors are the first professionals to create a particular project, from planning and designing of land subdivisions through to the final construction of roads, utilities, and landscaping. So you can understand how critical you are to the development of Fiji. And for us here in the Pacific region, particularly Fiji, survey is important, as they establish and determine the boundary and the shape of one of the most fundamental social and economic assets, which is land. And the surveying profession, in collaboration with the public sector, takes a prominent and visible role in finding sustainable solutions in land reform and the associated challenges of providing security of tenure to the sprawling urban and rural settlements that we have. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to announce the registration of 3 new registered surveyors by the board, and they've undergone strict and intense procedures as per Survey Registration Board regulations. They've completed all their project papers and also passed the oral exams as prescribed by the board. The 3 candidates passed and will be registered surveyors, or they are now effective from 22nd of November this year, and adding to the list of registered surveyors. This will tremendously ease the vacuum on the shortage. And the names of these surveyors that would add to our list are as follows: Mr. Kemueli Masikerei, Department of Lands; Mr. Mosese Vatubuli, Housing Authority; and Mr. Teroni Williame, Ministry of WaterWays. Your hard work, your perseverance, your patience, your integrity, and your accuracy has been fruitful. So congratulations to you 3 gentlemen, and I thank you, as we all here this morning, to witness your dedication. So go out there and embrace the change and contribute towards the development of your profession and the development of this nation in a wholly and thoroughly ethical manner. Before I complete, I'd like to just add also that if there is someone or something in your profession that has set a shining example of what can be achieved, it is our late David Chang, who used to be our surveyor general. And I'm sure he'd be really pleased today if he was around. But he is a great example of what can be achieved if you work hard and with dedication. With those few words, ladies and gentlemen, I actually congratulate our new surveyors on their achievements, and I must also at this time wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year for you. Now, thank you very much.